When guys, listen. When your kids stop seeing you as strong, kids don't understand words. What they do understand is action. What they do understand is what they see unfolding before them. What they do see is how you carry yourself. Now, when a kid grows up and a kid comes into this, man, he looks up to his parents and he looks up to his father, and his father is their hero, right? Their father's Superman to them, right? Because they just look up and they adore you and they cherish you and you mean the world to them. They know you as their protector, right? They know you as the father figure. And it's a very, very important role. The problem is if you start to drift, if you've become broken, if you've become soft, if you become less than, they see that as well. They take their lead from that. They don't always understand what's going on, right? It's not the words, it's not the things you tell them. Do as I say, not as I do. A horrible fucking way to raise your kids, because what you're basically telling them is there's standards out there. I'm going to live below them, but you have to live above them. And here's the situation. You can tell them that to your fucking blue in the face, but they're going to watch you. They're going to watch how you handle yourself. They're going to watch how you take care of yourself. They're going to watch how you handle stress. They're going to watch and see when you're strong and when you're powerful and when you're in control. And they're going to see when you're not. One of my biggest regrets about drinking is what my kids saw when I was a drunk. I've been sober for 11 years. My kids are 23 and 25 years old. That means they spent the first half of their life seeing me drunk. Now, I wasn't abusive and I didn't beat them, but I sure as fuck wasn't at my best. Drinking all the time, 400 fucking pounds, tired, always in a bad mood, always frustrated. That's what they saw. That's what they grew up. So they saw I was strong in certain areas for sure, but they also saw that version of me, which was not good. It wasn't good for me, and it sure as fuck wasn't good for them. Now, the second half of their life, they saw me sober up. The second half of their life, they saw me transform my body. They transform my mind, rebuild my business, rebuild my brand, go through some crazy shit in the last couple of years with a crazy ex-partner and a whole bunch of shit and COVID and stuff. They saw how I handled that and they saw how I went through that. And I'll tell you right now, right? They saw a man who was behind the eight ball. They saw a man who had a lot of pressure. They saw a man that dealt with it. They saw a man that still showed up at the fucking gym every day. They saw a man who didn't break and start drinking with all the stress. They saw a man who did his very best every day, no matter how much the tremendous pressure was. And there was a lot of times. They saw this motherfucker get up every day and do the best he could, show up, train his clients, rebuild, right? Have to sacrifice a whole bunch of shit, right? And they saw me struggle. They saw me, beaten down. They saw me having to deal with it for sure. And that's okay. They can see you struggle. They need to see you come through it though. They need to see how you fucking handle it. They need to see the adversity, but they need to see how you handle the adversity. But you also have to handle adversity. You have to prepare yourself. So if you're physically not strong, adversity is going to kick your ass. If you're emotionally weak, adversity is going to kick your ass, right? If you're spiritually weak, adversity is going to kick your ass. And there's always going to be adversity. Now, sometimes it comes at you fucking hard, and sometimes it's just life. However, at the end of the day, you need to toughen the fuck up. You need to warrior back up. You need to make sure you take control of your food. You need to make sure you take care of your mind. You need to make sure that you take care of your body so that when the tough times come, you're fucking prepared to handle it. It's that fucking simple, right? You need to be ready. You need to live at a higher level. You need to be fitter. You need to be stronger. You need to be more positive. You need to have a better mindset. Those things don't happen by accident. They don't happen by motivation. They happen by structure and they happen by discipline. They happen by fucking showing up when showing up is hard to do. Easy to do the easy stuff when it's easy. Fucking hard to do the hard stuff when it's fucking hard. Showing up, stepping up, right? Stumbling is okay, but then getting right back at it. That's what the kids see. That's what the world sees. That's what your family sees. That's what your fucking spouse sees around you. How you handle your shit. Put yourself in a situation to handle your shit. There was a really fucking telling thing that came out a while ago, talking about fucking criminals, pedophiles that fucking prey on young children. And they were interviewing a serial pedophile. And they were asking, when they were talking to him and stuff, like, and getting to understand what was on in this fucking guy's brain, they were asking him basically, what did he use? What was his decision making in deciding what child he was going to go after? And this guy went after boys. This guy went after girls. He went after younger. He went after older, right? He didn't seem to have a pattern. And one thing he fucking said, he said the first thing he did is he looked at the father. And if the father looked like he could fucking handle himself, if the father looked like he was a fucking going to be a hard fucking person to deal with, that would be a threat at any level, right? That was strong and capable. Not everyone's 6'2", 280 fucking pounds. That's not what I'm talking about. But if he saw a father figure that was strong, in control, right? A protector of his family, he avoided that child. That was the first fucking thing he looked at. Could he deal with the father? If the father wasn't a threat, then he would move forward. How fucking telling is that? How fucking telling is that? That's what the world is like out there. That's what's coming at you. That's what's coming after you. And that's what's coming after your family. And that's your fucking job to protect it. So if you're weak and you're fucking broken and you can't handle your own shit, your own day-to-day stuff, you can't fucking get yourself to go to the gym every day. You can't get yourself to eat less fucking food and not drink. If you can't handle that, how the fuck are you going to handle that kind of monster? How are you going to handle that monster who wants to break into your fucking house? Right? How are you going to handle that shit? You're not. You're not going to handle it very fucking well. Become the fucking superhero your kids fucking had when they looked at you when they were young. Become the super fucking hero that they need in their lives. Become the leader. Become the guy that they can rely on, that knows is going to be consistent, that's going to show up every day. And whether he wins or loses, he's going to fucking do his best every day. If he gets fucking knocked down, he gets right the fuck back up and he keeps fucking going. Relentless. Disciplined and dangerous. Let's fucking go.